Hello, folks. Ooh, we have some people already waiting in chat. That's fantastic. Hello, folks. Ooh, we have some people already waiting. Hello, Kay. Hi, Kevin. Smiley faces. Hello, hello. I am so excited to see you all here. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. It is so hot where I am. Oh my god. I'm really glad that I had only indoor activities planned for today because, whew, I don't know about you, I would not want to be outside in this weather today, let me tell ya. How is everyone else doing so far today? Yo, cheetah time! Yes, it is cheetah time, and don't you know it? I have some cool stuff planned for everyone here today. We're going to take a couple minutes and let folks mosey on in, as the case is. Smiley Faces says, I'm tired, but I'm okay. It's also hot where I live. Yeah, same. I'm pretty tired, too. I just, came back from an online convention called Little Island FurCon. Let me just put the information up on the screen right here, because I have that. So Little Island FurCon is a convention typically hosted in Singapore. Of course, you know, due to the ongoing pandemic, they were not able to have a physical event this year, but they did have one virtually. And Singapore is clear on the other side of the world from me. So everything was basically 12 hours offset. They started at 2 p.m. their time, whereas in my time it was 2 in the morning, so I stayed up really late to take part in this online convention. I expected I would fall asleep like halfway through it, but it was so captivating. I had a ton of fun. I found myself just completely engrossed in everything that was going on. I had a dealer's booth there, where I was selling my merchandise, which is available on my coffee shop. I've got pins and stickers, as you all know, including my lovely pins to help support Cheetah Chat, the series that I run here on YouTube. I've also got my Shetani Plays videos available for folks who like to help pick the games that I play on the stream next, because those have been recommended as well. So it was really fun. I had I had a better time than I expected setting up my booth, because they gave us little booths that we could peddle our wares in the Discord, as well as on the Little Island FurCon website. And so I spent a lot of time setting that up. Everybody was like super nice. Some people in the chat even recognized me, which I was really surprised at because I live in the United States and they're all the way over there in Singapore. So like, who knows? But it really is a small world after all, as they say. Smiley says, wait, there was a convention? There are conventions going on all the time. I like to keep an eye out for online conventions because I can't travel very much, but I still like to have a lot of fun with my friends and meet new people in the furry community. So online conventions are a great way to do that. I was not able to host a panel at Little Island FurCon due to the time zone differences. As I mentioned, it would have been in the middle of the night, so I can't be up talking and making a lot of noise and doing a panel like that. Maybe next time, if they have it over multiple days and they have more flexible panel slots, I might be able to sort of squish my way in there and make things work, because I would love to give a panel at Little Island FurCon and help support such a beautiful, small, and quickly growing convention. They had over 300 people participating in the con just today, which is super amazing. Hello, Journey Dogs. Journey Dog says, I made it. I'm very excited for summer to get underway, but I tend to get sunburned, so I hope to not let it happen to me. Oh no, dogs shouldn't get sunburned. You gotta put sunblock on your little nose. That's true, actually. In real life, your pets, cats and dogs who have very, very light fur, they can often get sunburns on like the tips of their ears or on the tip of their nose. So sometimes the owners have to actually put sunblock on them. But yes, it is not very fun when you burn easily. No, 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 it definitely isn't. But sometimes you just can't help but go outside and spend a nice day under the sun, enjoying the breeze, the sounds of the birds. Maybe have a cool drink with you. Maybe bring a nice book to read or some music to listen to, that kind of thing. Smiley Faces says, I want to go to Anthrocon, but I'm not sure if it's as good as people say it is. Well, Anthrocon is one of my favorite furry conventions to attend. Whether or not it's good, that's subjective, as any opinion really is. Depends on what you're looking for out of a convention experience, to be honest. I'd love to talk more with you about that at another time. Right now, I have a stream to get going. We are going to be streaming Komorebi here today, which is a sneak preview of a upcoming furry visual novel by Clace. You may recognize the title of that. It's because I did stream a partial preview of this back in November when the first demo came out. They've actually just released the second half of the demo, so the full first chapter of Komorebi is available right now to play online if you're so interested. I believe in the description of my video I have that information if you'd like to go on there after you watch my playthrough of it and want to play it yourself, maybe make different choices, that kind of thing. So it's really good to support independent developers and things like that. Journey Dog says, I see, but I never knew that until now. But overall, thanks for that fact. Oh yeah, you always get facts when you come here to Shetani Plays. You're learning whether you like it or not. That's my motto. Leo Star is here. Hi. Leo Star says, I missed your last stream. Glad I saw this one was coming up. Today's stream looks interesting with the furry character background I saw. There aren't too many furry games out there, or at least furry games in the way that I define them. Some people consider any game with anthropomorphic animal characters in it to be furry games, like, I don't know, Sonic or Night in the Woods or Ratchet and Clank, things like that. Those are definitely games that appeal to the furry community at large. But if you're talking about games that are made by furries for furries, Komorebi definitely is one. And if you missed my previous stream of Komorebi back in November, worry not. As always, all of these streams are recorded for posterity. You can watch them on my YouTube channel, catch up on what you missed, the story, and things like that. Smiley Faces says, I think I remember this game/novel. Yes, you very well might. I am going to test my CloudBot and see if it's working. Because usually CloudBot is piping up right about now, but I don't hear anything. So I think CloudBot might need a little kick in the pants. Let's go ahead and give it said kick in the pants, which means I'm just going to turn it off and turn it back on again, as you're really supposed to do with most technological things. So we'll give it a little bit. We'll see if it comes back on. But if not, for those of you who may be old or new faces here on the stream, hi, my name is Shetani. I am streaming Komorebi today, a game by Clace, an upcoming furry visual novel, of which the first chapter is available for download if you are so interested. You earn points simply by watching the stream as well as being active in chat. You can type !points to redeem your points for all sorts of wild, wacky, and wonderful things. Make me do stuff, make things pop up on stream, make everybody take a drink of water, all that fun stuff that you have come to know and expect. I also have chat commands for you to interact with myself as well as your fellow viewers here, make some friends, do some fun things. You can type !commands to see all of the chat commands that are available. And of course, if you like what the little old cheetah is doing and you want to spot me a cup of tea or two, I have a donation link right down there at the bottom of the page, ko-fi.com/Shetani. And you can go ahead and leave a donation if you are so inclined. Take a look, see what I have available in my shop, maybe help pick the next game that I play. Oh, we've got Gepard Laszlo here. Hello from Hungary. Hi. Thank you so much for coming by and checking out what I'm doing. So now we are going to transition over, crossing fingers that it works. Ta-da! There it is. There's Komorebi. I had it up and running because it was acting a little funky. Like I said before, it is a demo, so not everything is going to be on the up and up necessarily. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put my volume up just a little bit. Okay. How is that? Do we have desktop audio? I don't think we do. Let us refresh. Ta-ta. Gonna go ahead and load the game. Now it is pretty quiet, but okay, it's coming through. It's just a little quiet. I'm gonna crank it up. Please do not hesitate to let me know if you can't hear the stream. I will correct things post-haste. Speaking of post-haste, so here we've got our fragment map from the last time we played Komorebi. The recent update has added this here.
Experience culmination fragment. The nightclub outing?
Nightclub outing, culmination fragment, last piece of the demo here. According to Clace, there is a whole bunch of content packed right into this little piece right here, and this is all we are going to need to experience the final chapter of Komorebi. So without further ado, we are going to hop right into it. Thank you for choosing Argus. Our future, your way. He reads through some papers as I tell him my weekend plans. He wanted to make sure that my social life was thriving in this new setting. It was, for now. He seems happy that I have a new group of friends in my life.
Right, of course. The nightclub trip and the, pre-gaming. Well, at least you're being social. Not something I'd recommend making a habit of, though.
Another update since the last time we played. The therapist character was not voiced in the previous demo, and now he is fully voiced. Very, very cool. That also helps save me from having to read too much. But it's always nice when visual novels have full character voicing, isn't that so? It really helps you get into it more and kind of connect with all of the characters that you're interacting with while you play the game.
The pre-gaming, I mean, not the socializing. Having a friend group is healthy and can make all the difference. I'm glad that you're able to get along with Isaac's friends, too. Bringing a new person into a social group can often be complicated. You'll probably notice that you're under a microscope, too. At least for a while. But they should seek your approval just as much as you're seeking theirs.
After getting caught up, he puts the papers off to the side.
Speaking of that, though, have you been seeking more than friends? It's healthy to date and test the waters, you know.
Looks like I've got a romance option here. I told Isaac that I'd like to give it a try, actually.
Makes perfect sense. You did move here for him, after all. And if not for him, then at least to live with him, which is a big gesture. From everything I've been told, it seems like you two get along just fine.
He scribbles down notes on a piece of paper that rests beside him. I'm tempted to ask what he's writing down, but I know it's nothing bad. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I'll be cleared as a patient within a month or so.
Have your friends told you anything about their Komorebi? I mean, do you know if any of them are like you? Bonding over a shared trait can always help.
I let him know that I'm definitely the odd one out. They didn't reveal their visions, but I know that they had them. For the time being, I was definitely alone with this struggle.
I guess the odds were incredibly slim. But as far as I'm concerned, it was worth a shot. If you're interested, I could hook you up with some support groups.
I let him know that I'm not interested in that. Like I've said many times before, my lack of a vision doesn't affect me.
Oh, that's exactly why I'd recommend you go to a support group. I think others could benefit from hearing how you think and feel.
Oh,
Whether you know it or not, you're a pretty remarkable case.
okay. I shrug and ask him if that means he's close to clearing me as a patient.
One step at a time, Delta. I can't make a big decision like that unless I'm certain. Thankfully, your honesty and cooperation are helping.
Yeah, I am nothing if not cooperative. I can't help but direct my attention to some colorful papers by his side. They look like pamphlets, so I decide to ask him what they are. My best guess is that he already had some support groups in mind.
Oh, these? A Zero handed them to me on my way to work. I guess part of their protesting involves spreading around propaganda. This first one claims that Argus is responsible for Komorebi.
He picks up the pamphlet and opens it.
It says that they engineered it somehow. Then they swooped in to play the savior and control society. Those who don't experience visions are just strong enough to resist.
With a laugh, he places it back down and grabs the other.
Now, this one was actually more interesting. It says that the existence of Komorebi disproves free will. That's clearly not true. I wonder if they actually believe this nonsense.
He flips through the second pamphlet.
Unfortunately, we've seen people take their own lives due to Komorebi.
I imagine that could be the case, yes.
This very act proves that, to some degree, we can still control fate. The leading theory is that these visions are more like warnings. You know, a kind of heads up of what could be.
So, a possibility, perhaps, but not a definite.
Some people even believe that they're glimpses into alternate worlds. Of course, I didn't bring you here to talk about metaphysical nonsense.
I'm intrigued by this conversation, so I decide to turn the tables. I ask him where he stands on the subject, what he believes.
Well, I believe that we'll never know the truth of Komorebi. But many visions have come to pass, while many haven't. And as I said before, some people don't live to find out. If I had to commit to an idea, I'd say I agree with the leading theory. They're just possible outcomes. Nothing set in stone or predestined. Argus isn't responsible, and we still have free will at the end of the day. Of course, that's just wishful thinking. We'll never really know. Some visions could just be tricks to send people down a certain path. I think it's more important to handle things on an individual basis. For example, what does your vision, or lack of vision, mean to you? It's best to lead with that, rather than seek out a universal truth. Like I always say, truth can just be a gateway to more fright.
He puts the second pamphlet down.
I hope people don't start believing these silly stories. If those Zeros are really here to cause trouble, I'd avoid them. No sense getting caught up in something like this, you know?
I nod and choose not to mention the Zero I ran into. Besides, something told me our session was quickly running out of time. We continue to talk, but all I can think about is the upcoming festivities. Party time, party time. We make our way down the city streets as the booze starts to wear off. It was a long walk to the nightclub, but we didn't feel like driving or using public transit. Because of that, we wobble slightly as we head towards our destination, Club Euphoria. Ooh, nice name.
I'm surprised your friend didn't help us out with transportation.
What do you mean?
Gives us an open bar, but he didn't send us a limo? Rude.
Oh, don't get greedy. It was a nice gesture. He just wants to get things off to a good start.
My legs are killing me, so we're off to a great start. Remind me to give him an earful when we get there.
You're one to talk about ears full.
Speaking of which, I still need to yell at Dante.
What did I do now?
I heard that noise when you connected to our speakers, dude. Was I not clear enough the other day? Don't mess with my mods.
I haven't. Well, not since then. It's just been a while since anyone connected like that. Trust me, Isaac, I made those changes months ago.
Is that supposed to get you off the hook?
I'm just being honest, man.
Guess we'll see.
Dante scoffs and looks the other way.
You know, I might not drink as much as I thought tonight.
What? Why's that?
It's these new painkillers.
Very good reason to not drink.
Wait, you're in pain?
Aren't we all, Isaac?
Yeah, because you won't get off my back.
There you go.
Is it too much to ask for just one night of fun? You're the one who wanted that, yet you're tearing into me.
An awkward silence fills the air as they stare at one another. But just like usual, they erupt into laughter only a few moments later.
Fine. I'll try and ease up on you a little bit. If we want to be friends forever, I might just have to.
All of a sudden, I start to think about the conversation we had earlier. In their visions, they were no longer in touch, no longer a friend group.
You really think we can pull that off? I guess it's worth a shot.
Isaac stops in his tracks and turns to face all of us.
Then we should make a pact.
Oh boy.
Like with blood?
No.
Shame. Always wanted to do one of those.
There will be other opportunities, I'm sure.
I'd rather not have your blood on my hands, Taylor.
Ooh, foreshadowing perhaps?
Oh, but I thought we were finally bonding.
Come on, can you please take this seriously for a second? I just want to make sure that we don't all drift apart.
Okay, you can't really force something like that, but I can understand where he's coming from.
And how do you suggest we do that?
The group chat, probably.
Group chat, good idea.
Let's promise to keep using it no matter where we are, even if it's just 1 or 2 messages a week. No pressure, right?
Yeah, just, log in for the weekly meme check.
Then we really can be friends forever. Right now, you're all important to me. I think about you all the time. But in my vision, like I said, I'm not even aware of your existence.
Tragic. Everybody should know who I am. But on a more serious note, I guess I can manage that.
Taylor is a semi-popular live streamer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't plan on leaving the group, so I'm down.
Hello, 2JZ. Hello from the back rooms. Uh-oh. Are you watching my stream while you're supposed to be working? I hope you're on break. Nah, just kidding. You can slack off at work as much as you want. Tell your boss a cheetah gave you permission. It's fine.
Then let's make it official.
He puts out his hand, palm facing down. Oh my god, we're gonna do the hand in the middle anime thing, aren't we? One by one, we stack our hands on top of his. Yep. I wait until the end, since I'm the newest one here.
Friends, until the end.
Until the end. We all say that in unison and look at each other with big smiles. A moment later, we pull back our hands and continue on our way. I had no problem with the agreement since it seemed pretty low maintenance. It's a little odd, but this pact suddenly made my life feel more grounded. If we really followed through, I'd always have friends to support me. That made this scary new city seem all the more inviting. By the time the night was over, this place would be home. I decided to bring up something that my counselor told me at our session. There's a theory that Komorebi isn't set in stone. It's just a possibility. A pact like this could very well defy what they believe to be fate.
Ah, yes, the parallel universe thing. If that's true, then I'm screwed no matter what. If you're my best friends, then this is clearly the darkest timeline.
Oh,
Rude?
right?
Hey, don't worry. I thrive in the dark.
I noticed that Dante looks a little worried.
Hey, you know your counselor isn't supposed to do that, right? He's supposed to stick to facts and Argus-approved exercises. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's off curriculum, so to speak.
Yeah, and that could only come from someone who's never had a vision. People like us who live with Komorebi kind of find that laughable. It's something you can't understand, not unless you've lived it.
I asked him for some clarification, as I'm a little confused.
Well, I didn't have a speech prepared or anything, but it'd be like hosting a lecture on something you know nothing about. And not only that, but your students are already experts on the subject.
Platinum says, I really love the hairstyles the characters have. It's pretty rare to see this kind of stuff on Anthro characters. Yeah, they usually just have like a little hair tuft kind of thing, but it's really unique to see the character designs in this game so far. That would be both difficult and embarrassing.
Just think about it this way. It's inescapable even if you escape it. We could defy our vision, sure, but we still have to experience it. Every day, we face the future as if it were the present. It's indistinguishable from reality, and it's awful. So even if we are friends forever, I'll still lose you all the time. Who cares if it's another world or universe? The feelings are all real.
Wow. He nailed it.
I guess I never thought of it that way before. Even if we learn the origin of these visions, they'll still happen every day. They'd exist alongside the truth, and probably even overpower it.
Though I have to say, we should probably change the subject. This whole thing seems like a recipe for depression. Let's not sabotage our night out, huh?
True. And honestly, thanks for your input, Delta. I know that you were only trying to help out.
I nod and tell him it's fine. It's true, though. It wasn't my place to speak about Komorebi. Building off of that lecture metaphor, I should be sitting and listening.
Whoa! Didn't expect such a big lineup.
We round the next corner, and I see the nightclub for the first time. For some reason, it looks exactly how I expected it would. But Isaac was right. The lineup was massive.
I thought you said they canceled the event.
They did. I guess this is just the kind of traffic they get. It is the most popular club in town, after all.
Hopefully it's earned that title. Any chance your friend can help with the line?
I think he did, actually. Let me go talk to the person at the door.
Isaac motions for us to wait as he approaches the club. We stand around and exchange glances with one another. Dante still looks worried and inches closer to me.
You know, I was serious about what I said. Your counselor isn't supposed to talk about that kind of stuff. If you reported him, you might be able to get cleared as a patient.
I'm not going to report my counselor. I shrug. That seems extremely unfair. And I doubt that reporting him would get me cleared. They'd probably just transfer me over to somebody else. I'm already making progress with him, so I can't do that. Starting all over with another counselor would be super tedious. Dante nods as I speak my thoughts. He seems to understand.
Well, sometimes these things benefit other people. You might be fine, but he is still breaking the rules. That could be harmful. It's not a good thing to fill people's heads with nonsense, especially in therapy.
He's got a point there. He has a point. But before we can talk any further, Isaac returns.
Good news! We get to skip the line.
Ayy.
Woo! And all of a sudden, your friend is back in the good books.
The mood of the group instantly skyrockets. Waiting in a long line would have honestly killed the flow of our evening. Thankfully, Isaac's friend planned around that fact.
Well then, what kind of drink should we order first?
That question lingers as we make our way inside the nightclub. A few people complain that we're able to skip the line. It's kind of flattering. I have no right to feel this way, but it makes me feel important and special. Alright, are we gonna finally see the inside of the nightclub? Hey, there it is.
Tequila!
Dante quickly downs a shot, signaling me and Taylor to do the same. Isaac scurried off to prepare whatever needed to be prepared. As always, he remained tight-lipped until the very end.
I'm so ready to pay for this in the morning.
I guess we're just gluttons for punishment. How about we grab another round and go sit down? At this rate, it could be hours before Isaac comes back.
Sounds good to me. Hey, barkeep! 3 more tequila shots, please. And it should be covered. We're part of Isaac's group.
The bartender shrugs and says they have no idea what we're talking about. There are no reservations or holds in place for someone by the name of Isaac. There's some stuff happening on the 2nd floor, but not down here.
The 2nd floor?
The VIP section?
We turn to face each other, a little wide-eyed. Taylor leans in and starts whispering.
That's amazing and all, but who's paying for these? We're already preparing the next round of shots.
I'll get it, don't worry. I got a bit of an advance from my publisher. Just don't let them know I wasted it on booze.
I'm sure they're used to hearing that, Dante. What is a writer if not an alcoholic in disguise?
Maybe save the trash talk until after you're treated. If I just pay for me and Delta, you'll get kicked out.
And suddenly, I was joking! You're the best friend ever, I swear.
Sure.
The bartender places 3 shot glasses in front of us. In return, Dante waves his phone in front of a scanner. The transaction is completed, and we grab the shots.
Hey, follow me. I know exactly where we can sit. And thanks a million, Dante. I really mean it. Someday I'll find a way to repay you.
Yeah.
You could stop making fun of my career, for one.
Like I said, someday I'll find a way to repay you.
We follow Taylor as we talk and eventually find an empty table. Making sure not to spill the shots, we place them down as we sit.
Speaking of which, is your channel okay, Taylor?
Actually, it's pretty great.
You seem pretty scared about those shots. Like you couldn't spare the $60.
Oh my god, that's very expensive for 3 shots. Then again, I don't drink, so who knows? That could just be par for the course.
I don't like spending money if I can avoid it. And there's no point in spending it if someone else will treat me. That's kind of why I agreed to do this nightclub thing from the start.
That makes sense you rely on handouts. Now I know why the donate button takes up your entire page.
Rude.
Bigger is better, as they say. But it's not just donations, Dante. I have one of the highest sub counts on the platform.
Really? I guess I don't want you too much. I wasn't paying attention when I guessed it either.
It's true. Your boy is making history. When I get a book deal, maybe you can help me out. Oh, on that note, how is your latest project going?
At a snail's pace, but at least it's moving. I took a couple days off to celebrate Delta's arrival. Especially tomorrow. You know, hangover day.
Can't enjoy the highs without the lows. But don't worry, I'll make us some mimosas in the morning. Sometimes the best way to cure a hangover is to drink more.
Whatever you say, buddy.
I refuse to believe that.
You're a loss. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's have a little toast to the unknown.
Here, here.
It's not unknown. It's literally not true.
Taylor shrugs and grabs the shot glass. We down the next round of tequila. It's a little gross. You know what they say about too much of a good thing.
Well, maybe I'll believe you and get a big breakfast instead. My contract doesn't want me drinking too much anyways.
Wait, they control what you do?
You say that like it's abnormal, man.
Hmm.
There's always somebody on top of us that tells us what to do. Though I can think of a few scenarios where that wouldn't be too bad.
I want you to know that I got your joke. It just wasn't good.
Well, I'm no writer, just an entertainer. I kind of do what you do, but with less elegance. Basically, get paid to vocalize my thoughts all day.
I'm surprised people pay for that. I didn't pay a thing, and I still want a refund after listening to you.
Well, there's a market for everything. It doesn't have to be good. I mean, look at how many copies your novels have sold.
Dante laughs and shares a big smile with Taylor.
I honestly have no comeback for that one. You win this round, but I'll get you next time.
Oh, looking forward to it. You're always a worthy opponent. Any idea what's taking Isaac so long, by the way? He hasn't said a thing in the group chat since he left.
Oh, he's probably pooping. It's fine.
Well, we know he's upstairs now. He's probably making the VIP section look pretty for us. Guess that gives me time for a much-needed bathroom break.
Giving me and Delta some alone time, huh?
I'd never torture my friends like that. I just gotta go.
He smirks at me before leaving the table. An awkward silence follows, and I look around the club. Something feels different about tonight, and it's not just the alcohol. It feels like I'm actually getting to know these people. When I first arrived, it was clear that they were putting on an act. I don't blame them. First impressions are often important. But the second impression can be even more important in my books. You know, the person you see when the courtesies start to fade. Not a bad thing in any way. It means they're getting used to me. Guess the silence isn't a bad time to gather my thoughts. Alright, so now we've got some choices.
Interact with each word to learn more about it.
Thank you, Robot Voice, for explaining the mechanics of the game. I'm just trying to get Cloudbot up and running because it's being pretty darn quiet. I'll check again in a little bit. Onwards. Let us think about... Let's think about Dante.
Upon interacting with all three, your experience will continue.
Hey! Get your head out of the clouds! We finally get to hang out alone and you zone out?
Uh-oh.
If I didn't know any better, I'd take it as an insult.
Alright, so talk to me, man. Go ahead. Don't make me carry the whole conversation. I shake my head and apologize. In retrospect, it was kind of rude.
You mean a lot to Isaac. He's made that very clear. And from what I've experienced, you do seem pretty awesome. Well, since he's taking his sweet time, how about we chat for a bit?
That's true. We did have more than enough time to chat. Isaac is being slow, and I saw the bathroom lineup awaiting Dante. I lean back in my chair and try to make myself more comfortable. It seemed like I'd be sitting here for a while longer yet.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment. Taylor 1.
Sure.
Hold on. Just let me move over there. There we go. Much better.
I turned to face Taylor, immediately making things more personal. This was the first time we'd ever been alone, buzzed in an obnoxiously loud club. What a perfect time to get to know each other. An awkward smile between the two of us marks the start of our conversation. I was warned about his drunken behavior, so I kinda know what to expect.
You know, I'm pretty proud of that sass-off I had with Dante. Usually he can pin me down, but I'm getting better on my feet. A quick wit can beat a sharp mind any day of the week. But a few shots of booze can easily bring that wit to a full stop. Considering that, I think I handled myself pretty well. Maybe one of these days you and I can go head to head.
Okay. Let's see. That would certainly be interesting to see.
They'd write stories about it one day for sure. But let's wait until we're both at the top of our game. No sense opening the doors to something less than stellar.
We exchange a smile again, but it's much less awkward. That's probably for the best, since I assume we'll become close friends. This group seems super tight-knit. Getting close to one meant getting close to all.
You know, before you came along, I was the newest member of the group. It's been that way for a couple years, but now we have some new blood. I get to look at you through the same lens they used to judge me. Oh, but don't worry, I like what I see. So, do you move around a lot? Or will you be here long term?
I plan to be here long term.
Good to know. You seem nice. The reason I ask is because I used to move around all the time. From one place to another, the system always kept me mobile.
He fiddles with the shot glass in front of him.
So, this whole fresh start thing, I know what it's like. I'd brag about having more practice, but that's not really a good thing. Moving around made it really hard to keep a stable group of friends. When I got my first phone, though, everything changed.
Oh, yes. Technology is fantastic for keeping us connected to each other, even over long distances.
Making friends and keeping in touch when I move away? Priceless. I guess I also made some pretty good jokes. Got a lot of followers. So when I decided to start streaming, I already had an audience. The transition from hobbyist to full-time job happened almost overnight. I bought a house here, settled down, and then met the rest of the group. And now, I'm sitting here with you. That's the story of Taylor. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not one to really open up like this. But when you talk to strangers all day, you kinda need to hold back. Oh, don't get me wrong, I love my viewers more than anything, and yeah, there's a lot of regulars, but it all feels so surface level, you know? I'll never bond with them like I did with Isaac and Dante. Guess I'm just one of those quality over quantity guys. Kind of ironic that I chose a field where numbers mean everything then.
Well, there are a lot of fields like that.
Can't complain too much though. I guess I do have the best of both worlds.
It's odd to see someone so successful have gripes with their life. But I guess nothing can be positive all the time. Even stardom could have its drawbacks.
I'm glad we got to have some time to ourselves, Delta. Even if it felt like I did most of the talking, I think I needed that. I talk to people all the time, but it's rarely about anything real. How about you join me at my place next week? We can have a blast tonight and pick this up next time. Maybe I'll even let you guest on my stream, if you're nice. Oh, and we'll have a lot more privacy there. Feel free to take that one however you will.
He smirks at me, and I give him a quick nod. There's no reason why that shouldn't work, so I agree. A crowded nightclub isn't the best place to form a bond. Well, I guess it depends what you're looking for, actually. But right now, I had no interest in extending my reach beyond this group. Even though I've known Isaac for years, I'm getting to know him all over again. That's a good thing, though. It was an adventure that I was happy to embark on. Getting to know these people and their quirks could only happen once. One day, I definitely look back on this and wish I could relive it all. Thankfully, this is a video game, so we can relive this as many times as we want.
You really are the master of daydreaming, huh? Well, I guess all of this could be pretty overwhelming. New city, new friends, new everything, really. I'll try not to add to the pile, so don't worry. Well, except for tonight, I can't make that promise. This club is a new experience for all of us, not just you.
I noticed Dante returned from the bathroom in the corner of my eye. Taylor must see that I'm distracted, and he turns to look.
Hey, it's about time! Delta was almost boring me to death.
Whoa, he's insulting you. Just so you know, that means he has a crush.
He sits down and plays with the empty shot glass in front of him.
Sorry I took so long, by the way. Some guy tried to sell me drugs.
Ooh, did you buy enough for all of us?
Dude, drugs are bad.
Oh, all right. And how many energy drinks have you had today?
2.
Oh, yes. There's the double standard. Can't say I didn't warn you about that contest, man. It's just a ploy to create new addicts, nothing more.
Yeah, I heard you the first 1,000 times.
I'd be worried that they're fighting, but I know better than that by now. This is just how they get along. If they hated each other, they wouldn't talk at all. It's about to continue, but Isaac startles all of us with his unexpected return.
Hey, looks like everything is good to go. Come with me. We're going somewhere special.
You mean the VIP section?
Ooh, VIP section.
Aw, what? How'd you know?
There's like nowhere else to go, but okay.
The bartender down here gave it away. Said the only thing going on tonight was upstairs.
Buzzkill.
You're the only buzzkill here, man. Keeping us in the dark until the last possible second?
All right, fine. Let's just go and have some fun.
That's all you ever had to say, Isaac. Maybe start with that one next time.
We all get up and start to follow Isaac. At last, I'm assuming he means last. At last the time was finally upon us. No more teasing or secrecy. I'm not sure what he wanted to hide, but it kind of backfired on him. If he wanted to hype something up for my benefit, he didn't need to. I would have been fine with no outing at all and just staying home. But at least if this went well, I'd make another new friend. Isaac is a good judge of character, so I bet we'll meet someone cool. At least everyone he's introduced me to so far has been pretty awesome. With slight anxiety, we ascend the stairs to a floor reserved just for us. I have to admit, that does make me feel a little special. Okay, VIP club time. We ascend the stairs and my anticipation rises alongside me. I've never been treated to something like this before, so I'm grateful. I only hope that I'm able to express that properly to our new friend. Friend of Isaac's is a friend of mine, at least in theory. Any addition to a group dynamic has the chance of going sour. However, I decided to be optimistic in the face of what could go wrong.
Well, I'm sorry for the secrecy, but here we are. I didn't want to reveal what was happening until the last minute. Sometimes a surprise is necessary. Just felt like one of those days.
Dude, we just talked about how the surprise was ruined. I mean, it's not really a surprise if everyone knows but us. Even their part-time bartender was in on this thing.
Yeah, but I value the look on your face more than theirs. That's why I kept it a secret from you and not the staff. Good or bad, a surprise is still a new experience, right?
Sometimes.
That's the logic you're using to save face? Don't even get me started on how bad that is. Just admit the fact you handled this wrong right from the start.
Aw, don't be so hard on him.
Hey, don't speak too soon. Look, I promise you'll understand why I've been acting so weird. There were a bunch of other people involved, and a lot of strings attached.
Strings?
A bunch of other people?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one who wanted to keep things secret. I was only playing by the rules that made everyone comfortable. Also, I was legally bound. There were forms involved.
Yeah, because the law always keeps you in line.
Golden Wolf says this game looks cool. Also, hi Shetani. Hi Golden Wolf. Happy to see you here. I am playing Komorebi, this is actually the first chapter of the upcoming furry visual novel from Clace. It was just released a couple days ago. It is available to play for free right now if you are so interested. And the full game, I believe, will be available later this year on Steam if you are a fan of visual novels or furry games or anything like that. So keep watching and see if you like it.
Is this about my mods again? They're legal. I'm being honest for once. Just trust me. Please.
Said every liar ever.
Bro, when the police come knocking, you can rub it in my face. But right now, the ball is in my court, and I plan to serve.
Golden Wolf is about to go to dinner. Ooh, have a good time. And when you come back, be sure to tell us what you had for dinner. I am very interested to hear.
Oh, a sportsman all of a sudden. You're acting so weird, like you're trying to be cool. Do not continue this.
And suddenly it all falls into place. He just wants to impress his new boyfriend.
His new what?
Another man pokes his head out, having been knelt behind the bar.
Sorry, I was just organizing these bottles. Didn't expect the selection to be so artistic.
Ooh, we've got a new character here. And Morris. Hello, Morris. I hope you are enjoying the stream so far. I am playing some more Komorebi, the second half of the demo, first half of which I played back in November, so you might recognize the game or these characters.
Wine is the one that gets better with age, right?
You could ask Isaac that one. He's pretty old.
Oh, guess that's why he's finer than you.
Yeah, the character designs in this are super interesting. There's, like, way too many canines for my taste. I don't think I've seen any felines in this game so far. I wonder if there's a reason for that or if it's just personal preference. For instance, if I were making a game, I would put tons of cats in it, so I can't fault Clace for that if he prefers dogs over cats.
Are you sassing me?
I came prepared.
We all laugh and move closer to the bar. Isaac's friend looks familiar, but I can't put a finger on it. Rather than dwell on that, I simply thank him for his generosity.
No problem. I was actually supposed to do a signing up here. I'm guessing Isaac told you about the event that was canceled? Thankfully, we still had the venue booked, so I made use of it.
Signing?
Yeah, he has a following.
Suddenly, we hear a high-pitched scream from behind us. It was obviously Taylor, but when we turn around, he acts oblivious. He simply lets out a deep breath and places his hands together.
I am composed. That's a new noise. Please never make it again.
Taylor ignores the bait and steps even closer to the bar.
Sorry, I didn't really recognize you. I'm Taylor, and apparently I'm also an idiot.
Nah, don't worry. You're not an idiot. You'd be surprised how accurate those old comic books can be. Put on some glasses, change your hair, and nobody can recognize you.
That's very true, actually. If you've ever seen clips from the old Superman movies of how Christopher Reeve, like, changes his entire posture and demeanor when he switches from Clark Kent to Superman, it's super interesting. Pun not intended. But it really shows just, like, how great of an actor he is and how he can really seem like two different people.
Can't hide that voice, though. We were just listening to you before we walked over here. I guess the whole surprise thing makes a lot more sense now.
Wait. I know you.
Yes, you do. Dante's eyes open wide as he approaches a sudden realization.
And I know you too. Can you sign some stuff for me?
Well, I have some spare copies of my books back at home.
Bold of you to assume I didn't bring my own. I've been a fan since day one. Even have a first edition copy of Forlorn. And Taylor, I love your streams. Great company for those long trips.
Ah, he looks so shy. I'm able to piece together the evidence. That's Clace. We were listening to his music just a few hours ago while we pre-gamed. I knew enough to know that he was a person of note in the music industry.
Wow, didn't know we had any idols lurking in chat.
Oh yeah, totally. I tell a lot of people about your channel too. you should let me join you as a guest while I'm in town.
Sure. How long are you in for?
A couple months, probably, unless something comes up. I'll be easy to find, though. Isaac is gonna add me to the group chat.
Yay, new member for the group chat.
Sounds good to me. So, what are the plans for tonight?
That was certainly interesting. They've arranged a collab. I've seen crossovers like that, and they always end up in the news. A streamer and an idol playing games together, everyone loved to see it. I'm not really familiar with the content that any of these people make, though. Dante's novels, Taylor's streams, and Clace's music? Never experienced them. But I knew that was going to change, and at this rate, it'd be changing fast.
Figured we'd each grab a bottle and just hang out. Trust me, the couches up here are super comfortable. Oh, and Isaac, we still on for Sunday?
Oh, yeah, of course.
What's happening on Sunday?
He's moving in with us.
Oh.
What?
Surprise!
That certainly is a surprise.
Now I know why you kept all of this a secret. Can't have any objections if nobody knows anything.
Oh, like you would object.
It's not like that. Okay, maybe it's kind of like that, but you should see the look on your face.
Worth it?
Totally. So, what do you want to drink? I think I'll grab a bottle of fancy wine.
Same. We've already had everything else. And it looks like those bottles are pretty expensive.
Let's not drink too much, though. Don't want to run his tab through the roof.
Oh, feel free. It's all bought out, so don't let it go to waste. You can even grab a few to take home if you want.
Taylor steps forward and places his hands on Clace's shoulders.
You are my best friend.
Clace chuckles and grabs the bottle of wine he was holding earlier. Leo Star asks, curious, are there any female characters in this game or is it all guys? That was something I noted when I played the previous demo of Komorebi. There were not any women in the game at that point. Clace, the newest character that was just introduced right now, is a guy. I don't feel very confident that we will see any women, at least in this chapter of Komorebi, which is a shortcoming that I did highlight in my previous playthrough of this game. I hope that this is rectified in the full game when it actually comes out, because I feel like that's something very important to keep in mind, especially if you're going to be making media for a community such as the furry community. You know, representation is very important. You can't just, like, pigeonhole or make only what you want to see, especially when it comes to things like that. But that's just my opinion. There are so many talented female voice actors in the furry community. I can't imagine it would have been difficult to find someone to voice a character in Komorebi. So I really hope that that actually changes when the full game is released. I believe it's finished already. I'm not sure if they're still working on it, but I think the whole game was kickstarted, so they might still be, you know, adjusting the script or things like that. So I hope that if there's enough of a public outcry about it, Clace and the other people making the game will actually take some of that critique to heart. In any case.
Let's take a seat and see if we can make that mutual, alright?
Oh, and by the way, Clace is a self-insert of the person who made this game. I'm actually gonna have another drink of water because I am really hot. Clace holds a deck of cards, but not the kind you'd expect. Oh, what are they, tarot cards? It's It's a card game made for a night of drinking with peculiar questions. Nothing held back. Talk about going off the deep end for a first impression.
Looks like this one's for Taylor. At least, I think it suits him the best.
Yeah? What is it?
Let's see here. What's the pettiest thing you've ever done?
Oh, easy. You mean today or...
Stalling rule! Objection sustained. You can't answer a question with another question. That defeats the entire purpose of the game, Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor.
Why did we make you the judge again?
Come on, step it up.
Just be thankful you didn't make me the executioner, man. Either way, stalling rule dictates that we get to ask another question. And not only that, but it doesn't have to be from a card. We can make it up.
Oh. And if I refuse to answer?
Shot.
Oh, what a terrible punishment. Not like I've been doing that all day anyway. Can I just take 2 shots and avoid this altogether?
No. Objection sustained. Let's take it from the top. What's the pettiest thing you've ever done?
Taylor places his head into his hands and sighs.
You're all really out here trying to ruin me. Just promise you won't repeat this. It's embarrassing.
Remember, sworn to secrecy.
All right. Well, I was dating this guy. He was cool, I guess. We'd hang out and watch TV shows all day. It got to the point where I enjoyed the TV shows more than him. And you know my motto, don't spend money if you don't have to. I ended up dating him for a year before actually calling it off.
Oh my god.
Gave me time to watch what I wanted. No subscriptions.
Free Netflix. We all exchange glances, a little shocked.
That's foul, man.
Hey now, we all do stupid things when we're young.
Young? This was just last month. But come on, you saw the new season of Insomnia Cafe. Don't tell me you wouldn't do the same. It was so good.
Wow.
A man-child. We're in the company of a literal man-child.
Your answers would be any better. I have dirt on all of you. Keep that in mind.
Oh, you've made a big mistake now. Trash talking when we get to ask whatever we want.
In that case, I'm gonna go with Delta. I know you wouldn't put me on the spot too bad. And my liver hurts, so I'd prefer a question I can answer.
Yeah, loves the shows more than his partner. That's wild. It certainly is.
Can he do that?
Yeah, reversal rule. He either elects someone or we spin a bottle. Gives him a chance to minimize his embarrassment.
Delta, don't minimize anything. Throw him under the bus just like he does to us. We'll finally give him a taste of his own snarky medicine.
Yeah, Isaac's smile is definitely, interesting, to say the least. Everybody looks at me. I guess I have to decide on what we ask Taylor. A bunch of questions flood the forefront of my mind, and I focus. Thankfully, I've been gathering my thoughts. I'm ready for this. Let's see. Ooh, okay. What are we gonna ask Taylor? Okay, it doesn't make sense to ask what are the last 10 pages in your browser history because who would remember that off the top of their head, let alone having been drinking this night. Okay, I'm gonna ask, what is your biggest regret?
Wow, now there's a tough one.
He strokes his chin like he's lost in thought.
You could always take the shot. No need to answer something you don't want to.
It's fine, I just didn't expect such a real question.
He pauses for a moment before he comes to a sudden realization.
Actually, I'd have to say that my biggest regret is pushing people away. I know I flirt with everyone, but a few years ago it was the opposite.
Yeah, I remember when we first met. I told you that being a jerk for fun wasn't a personality.
Oof.
Well, flirting with everybody isn't a personality either.
Yeah, but at least I'm happy now. And I plan to keep that up, so let's move on.
We all exchange glances, unsure of what happens next. The double question really threw a wrench in the momentum. Before continuing, Clace coughs to get all of our attention.
I went last, so that means Delta's next. But no more freedom. Gotta stick to what's in your hand. And Taylor isn't allowed to be questioned until after his next turn.
I nod and look down at the cards in my hand. It does seem like each one would fit a specific person. Clace targeted Taylor, so I'll try the same with my next move. Let's see. I can ask Clace, what fact about yourself do you hide from others? I can ask Isaac, if your life was a sitcom, who would get the most laughs? And I could ask Dante, ooh, describe the most attractive part of everyone present. That sounds like it has the potential to be quite revealing, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask that one.
Wait, seriously? Ugh, way to put me on the spot, Delta.
Hey, it's all part of the game, man.
See? Now that's the kind of question I've been waiting for. Always a good idea to throw praise at your friends.
Yeah.
And I finally get to hear what Dante likes about me. I've asked him for years, but he always acts ignorant.
Ugh, that shot is getting more and more tempting. But fine, just don't get mad at me if it's not what you want to hear, okay?
Hey, everyone has their own taste. Wouldn't be fair to hold that against you.
Yeah, don't worry. We'd never do that. As long as you get the answer right, of course.
Dante sighs, realizing it may be impossible to please everyone at the table. A moment later, in a rapid-fire fashion, he speaks his mind, almost like he rehearsed it.
Clace, the voice. Isaac, the ambition.
Whoa. Okay. You can't just, you gotta spend some time on it. But alright, let's see what we got.
Taylor, the confidence, and Delta, the willingness to take risks.
He smiles after he finishes, like he's proud of his answers.
That was honestly great.
You admire my ambition?
Yeah. Someday I'll have a work ethic like you. I spend more time looking at memes than writing.
Same. That's one of my favorite things to do. I'll say I'm gonna sleep, but I'll just stay on my phone all night.
A connoisseur, I see.
Hashtag relatable.
Only the best. And if you're nice, maybe I'll share.
He smirks before continuing the game.
Looks like Taylor is next. That means your immunity is worn off, too.
Oh, sweet. It's time to get my revenge.
Bring it on, dude. I'm sure I'll never recover.
Taylor inspects his cards and then whines audibly.
Not fair. All of these are so wholesome. Can I just swap cards with somebody else?
No, it won't kill you to be wholesome for once.
It really might.
Hey, make your move before I call the stalling rule.
Uh-oh.
Fine. Let's see here. Tell us about an embarrassing fact or experience. At least this one has potential to be juicy.
That one seems like revenge to me, man. Clace, no need to answer if you don't want to.
Oh, it's fine. I just don't know my answer yet. I'm no stranger to scandals, so this casts a pretty wide net.
Go ahead. Take your time.
But not too much. Remember, the rules apply to you too.
Are you sure you don't want help with this one? I know you had some pictures and videos leaked.
Ooh.
Taylor!
Oh, yeah, but I killed it in those. Not embarrassing at all.
There you go, Clace. Own it.
You want me to start a timer?
Oh, no need. Just let me figure out how to word it.
He strikes a thinking pose before starting to speak.
Well, I guess this one is just an embarrassing fact about myself. But I'm pretty sure I owe my entire career to a fluke.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Well, it goes a bit deeper than that. I had my first vision when I was about to turn 13. You know, just like we all did. No real difference.
I decide not to say anything. The odds of meeting someone without a vision are so low, I can't blame him. There's no real reason to assume that someone at a table of 5 didn't experience Komorebi.
But in my vision, I'm older, with a lot more experience. I had a lot of albums out and a lot of songs to pick from.
No way.
Yeah, totally. I got started by stealing songs from my future self. I mean, I guess it's not really stealing since I still wrote them.
Huh. Interesting concept.
but I entered the school's talent show that year with an arsenal. I got scouted right away, and I've been working ever since.
They made you do all that since you were 13?
Well, they adjusted my courses to incorporate singing and dancing. I wasn't doing more work. The work was just tailored a bit better.
Interesting. I figured you went off to an idol academy or something.
I did, but that came a little later. And you're all milking 10 questions out of 1 here. Maybe you should be sticking to the rules you are enforcing.
Fair enough. It's just an interesting story.
But a bit embarrassing, so I just keep it to myself. If I told everybody, then the bad press would start flowing. I'd hate to feel like I have to defend myself all the time.
Oh, didn't think of it like that.
He stops to think, like he's choosing his next words carefully.
If standing up for yourself was bad press, my reputation would be ruined. Don't let people walk all over you. Others will see the prints and follow suit.
Dante leans forward, a little shocked.
Taylor gave good advice? This really is a special day.
We all laugh as the game continues. I had my doubts at first, but Dante was actually right. This night is proving to be just as special as it will be memorable. I lay on one of the couches and stare up at the ceiling. Dante and Taylor do the same, while Clace and Isaac lie on the floor. Ew, don't lie on the floor at a nightclub. You do not want to know what's been on that. Oof. It was basically unspoken, but we all decided to take a quick breather.
Hey, how'd you two meet anyway? This must have taken a lot of coordination.
Not really.
Yeah, we met on Taylor's stream. Nothing crazy. He mentioned he was taking a break from work, so I invited him over.
Seriously? I keep a pretty good eye on who's watching my stream. Even if they don't chat, I can still check out the user list. Can't say I ever noticed your name pop up there.
Oh, what? Like you've never heard of a side account?
Oh, I don't use that name online. Or my legal name. The agency gave me a spare account so I could be anonymous. Isaac didn't even know who I really was until around a week ago.
Yeah, it's basically a burner account that influential people get. If he went around posting as himself, he'd never have peace of mind. The account basically vanishes if his identity is compromised.
Sounds like a spy novel.
Is that even fair? A license to do whatever you want online?
Do you think people really do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Well, I'm still subject to changes in my score, so it's not like I use it for evil or anything. It's just an extra layer of security.
I think that's pretty cool. Good to know they care about your safety.
Yeah, totally. They pitched it as a digital security guard. It keeps people at arm's length, but it's not always good. Because then I have to deceive people like Isaac. I was worried he'd hate me when I told him the truth. Any way you look at it, I lied to him for ages.
But it's not like you wanted to. He didn't have any ulterior motives either.
True, but I still feel a little guilty. So buying out the bar was more like a peace offering. I'd like to get things off to a good start. No secrets between friends.
No place for those here.
Yeah, not if we plan to be friends forever.
Forever?
Until death, in Isaac's words. We were getting a bit sappy earlier.
Death? Sappy?
Yeah, we're a quirky bunch.
And I don't plan on dying anytime soon. So I hope you're good with being friends for a long while.
Yeah, of course.
Clace laughs, but I can tell that he's a little weirded out.
You know, I don't feel like I'm an outsider anymore. That card game really helped me get to know all of you. Before you came upstairs, I was worried you'd hate me.
Nah, Isaac is a pretty good judge of character. When he vouched for you, I knew we were in for a good time. He was just being shady about everything until the last minute.
Yeah, I'll take responsibility for that one. I hope you can understand why we needed some privacy.
He looks to the side like he's a little shy about what he'll say next.
I'd also like to request that you offer me more during my stay.
Oh?
Of course. So, just to get things straight, you're on a small hiatus from your music career.
Yeah, Just wrapped up my tour, so it seemed fitting. And I don't need to start a new album for a while yet. Combine both of those facts, and boom, freedom.
We're gonna make the most of it, too. Don't want you looking back on this with any regrets.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Isaac. For everything.
While they talk, I get off the couch and slowly walk away. I let them know that I'm just taking a quick breather. It's been a wild night. As I continue to walk, I hear their laughs slowly dissipate, replaced by music. I look off the railing and down to the first floor. Everyone seems to be having the time of their life tonight. Makes me wonder if any of them knew what was going on up here. Chaos would probably ensue if they knew that Clace was mere feet away. I don't know much about him, but I know that he could easily draw a crowd. That's probably the most important quality for someone in his line of work.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment. Clace 1.
Sure, let's have a heart-to-heart with Clace. Yes. I stand in front of the railing, watching the activity on the dance floor. It hasn't been too long since I arrived, but I'm starting to feel a sense of home. There's just something about this place and these people. I feel at ease. I'm even able to establish a rapport with people I've never met. It's like the weight that hindered me back at home was completely eliminated. This could be a honeymoon period, of course, but I'm going to enjoy every second. Clace approaches me, startling me out of my reverie.
Hey, how are you holding up? This is the first time I've seen you away from the rest of the group. We're all having a blast, you know. I hope you feel the same way.
Okay, we've got some choices here. Of course. I just needed a breather before I continued.
Oh, good. I was starting to worry. Things were getting a little intense, I'll give you that. But I'm glad you're not tapping out. We're just getting started.
He gives me a soft smile before taking another sip of his drink. I thank him for coming over to check on me, and I expect him to leave. Much to my surprise, however, he stayed beside me, enjoying my company. We watch the dance floor together, and I'm a little flattered. Someone of his status choosing to spend time with me? As that thought consumes my mind, I can't help but ask him.
Status? And what status do you mean exactly? People say that all the time, but they have no idea what this industry is like. I can guarantee that you'd outrank me tenfold if we compared our scores. People like me, artists I mean, are known for having awful scores. Art has always been about challenging the status quo, at least to me. The system hates that, and every new song is a nosedive for my score.
I tell him that I'm not talking about the system. I'm talking about his fame and fortune as a pop star. However, I'm a bit surprised that his score is low.
Oh, jeez. Now I'm embarrassed for going off on a tangent. Whenever somebody mentions status, I always think about the system. We're just numbers in a computer. Fame and fortune will always come second to that.
He takes another sip of his drink.
It goes against my values to treat one group of people better than another, too. So this status that you're talking about, it's from the outside looking in. When I watch you and your friends, I'm actually pretty jealous.
He's envious of us? I ask him to elaborate.
At this point, I think the alcohol is elaborating, not me. But everybody dancing down there, I bet they wish they could be up here. They'd probably even abandon their friends and family for a life of luxury. And by the time they regret it, it'd already be too late. Once you get into a world like this, there's no getting out. You're just there, watching them, and wanting to go back. You know, I could tell that you and your friends were worried. It was clear. You didn't really know if you'd fit in with me or not, but honestly, I was terrified that I wouldn't fit in with you.
Aww. He scoffs.
I said I wanted to have a good time, and now I'm bringing you down. Let's make a deal, alright? Drop the whole status thing between us. That's not something I can ask of them, but I know I can ask it of you.
He motions down toward the dance floor, and I understand what he means. Especially now that people are starting to recognize his face. They look up from the dance floor, taking pictures of us.
Just like they want to be up here, I want to be down there. That velvet rope keeps me in just as much as it keeps them out. For my safety, they always say. Like I can't take care of myself. But I hope that you and your friends can change that. I don't have to be up here alone anymore. I can be with all of you. Hold on. Let me get this over with. It's rude to keep an audience hanging.
He leans over the railing a little bit, blowing a kiss to the crowd. With a smile and a little pose for the photos, it seems like his work is done. They cheer, but it's peculiar. Like his personality changed just for the crowd.
Well then, let's get away from all those prying eyes. If I'm not mistaken, you owe me a few facts about yourself.
So Platinum asks, I'm confused. Is a score like school grades or contributing to the society in the eyes of the government? So it has been a bit of a while since I last played this game, so I may not be remembering the particulars exactly, but from what I can recall, this game takes place in a society where everybody is heavily monitored by, basically social media and technology and everything like that. So every person has a score that their points go up if they stick to what's expected of them, and if you deviate from the norm, your points will go down. And this is required to participate in society, essentially. So if you want to, like, buy food or have a job or live in a house or really anything that we enjoy as a comfort of our own lives, this is hinged entirely on participating in the system and having a high score. In this society, there are also people known as zeros who choose to not take part in the system. They live on the outskirts. They basically are just like wild people living in the woods. They can't buy food or anything like that, and that is, of course, a detriment, but they can live freely to be who they want. So that's one of the themes that I suspect will be explored more in future chapters of the game. But so essentially, when people are talking about scores in the system, that's what they're talking about. I believe Isaac also mentioned something about, like, hey man, don't mess with my mods and stuff like that. He thinks it's okay to bend the rules of the system a little bit, like modifying technology and things like that, which like decreases his score, and it makes everybody else kind of nervous because that can have negative repercussions on them since they live in the same house as him. So it's kind of like an interesting dynamic. In any case, back to Glaze. I nod and follow him back to the core area of the VIP deck. We sit down across from each other and he leans back, stretching. Dante, Taylor, and Isaac are still hanging out. Their distance provides us with privacy. He rests his empty glass on the table between us and then stares at me. I can tell he's trying to get a read on me, like he can tell just from sight. With a quick shrug, I rest back in my chair and wait for him to speak.
There's something different about you. Maybe it's because we're both fish out of water here. Lost and clueless, but lost and clueless together, right?
Another smile. I give him one in return. Bonding over a shared struggle makes sense to me. It's not easy moving to a place you know almost nothing about.
So, why did you move exactly? I know your friends are here, and Isaac offered you a room, but yeah. Running away from something? Looking for something new?
I tell him that it's a mix of both, honestly. At home, I felt held back. I needed a big change and more freedom. I also don't know what I want in life, so I guess it's an excuse to find myself.
Find yourself? I've been there. And it's not really what you'd think. Sometimes, finding yourself just means realizing how lost you really are. In the face of something like that, blissful ignorance almost seems preferable.
One moment. It is hydration time. Ag. It might just be the alcohol, but that sounded rather profound. Clace immediately leans forward, giggling at what he said.
I am so putting that in my next song. Look, we just met and you're already inspiring me. Let's have another drink, alright? I like where this is going.
He quickly scurries to the bar and prepares 2 glasses of wine. Carefully walking back, he tries his best not to spill anything. Sitting down with a smile, he places the drinks on the table.
Thanks for opening up to me, by the way. It's enough to know your reasoning. I shouldn't pry for specifics. If I keep making you talk about your past, you'll never move on from it. So, let's have a drink to the future, alright? And not the Komorebi, but the future we make for ourselves. No need to base our lives on all of that metaphysical nonsense.
I raise my glass, and we drink in sync with one another. However, when we put the glasses down, I have to come clean. This is when I let him know that I've never experienced Komorebi.
Oh, really? Well, even better. From what I've seen, people like you live happier lives. I've never understood all that counselor nonsense.
I totally agree, and thank him for his point of view. If anything, it seems like the remnants of a dead system. People our age have long since come to terms with Komorebi. But while we're on the subject, I had to ask him. What did he see in his vision? Did he see his fame and fortune? I know he had songs in his head, but what else did he glean? He immediately looks taken aback and his ears perk up. He looks worried and blushes softly as he adjusts his scarf. Such a mixed reaction. I can't tell if I did something bad or not.
That's a third date kind of conversation, you know? But I doubt this is the last time we'll be hanging out together. Just put that one on the back burner. At least for now. Please?
Of course. Not until you're ready.
Thanks. You're really considerate. I don't see that too often. Before my hiatus, they wouldn't let me make friends or even date anybody. They said that a single guy gets more attention, and I should focus on my career.
That's actually true for pop stars these days. A lot of the time, their labels and managers control, if not who they date, they definitely control how they are portrayed to the public, especially for like teen heartthrob type stars, because people will be more interested if they have the sense, however true or not, that they could actually get with the celebrity. So, a lot of times when these people have boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever the case may be, they're not allowed to tell anybody about them. Wait, the industry controls his personal life? That doesn't sound good. Although it does explain why his social skills are rough around the edges. If this is really his first group of friends, then I'm glad to be part of it.
Although,
He smirks.
I keep forgetting that I'm not bound by their rules during this hiatus. Like, I know I am, but it hasn't really registered in my head yet. They gave me this little break in order to seal a deal in the making.
A deal?
Yeah. After this break, I owe them 5 albums over 10 years.
Oh, that's a lot.
My last contract ran its course, so I actually had ground to negotiate. I'm giving them so much of my life. I guess I just wanted some of it back in return.
There's something about all of this that seems so depressing. He's able to say it with a smile, however, like it's normal to him.
But I know that during this break, I'll make bonds that last a lifetime. The next 10 years will be nothing if I have all of you by my side. I was worried, but now I have some much-needed backup.
We both smile at each other, and he blushes once more. I couldn't put my finger on it, but that seemed like the perfect end to our talk. Both standing up at the same time, it was almost like that feeling was mutual. It seems as if we're both in sync. Like he said before, fish out of water. Holding out his glass, he simply repeats the earlier saying.
Remember, lost and clueless.
But lost and clueless together. As I say that, I tap my glass against his. With a quick smile, he returns to the rest of the group. Everyone seems to be getting along as I head back to the group. Clay slowly sips on his glass of wine, and everybody mingles with each other. That breather definitely helped. I can't party as hard as everyone else, it seems.
Welcome back. Was starting to worry you'd ditch us. Not everybody can handle a night like this.
No hard feelings if that's the case, of course.
Aw, yeah, that was sweet.
Oh, there'd definitely be hard feelings. Isaac planned this night just for you. Remember?
Pressure. That's not even true. He planned the night around Clace, too.
Makes me feel a little inadequate. I never got a party like this when I joined the group.
Yeah, I save it for the people who are worth it.
Mean.
Justified, actually.
Clace finishes his glass of wine and places it down, emitting a loud noise. This gets all of our attention, and the bickering quickly stops.
What do you think we should do next? There's still a few hours before last call.
Good question.
We all exchange glances, unsure of what to do. No one mentions anything, so Clace changes the subject.
I may have blown my cover a little earlier, by the way. We should probably sneak out the back entrance when we leave.
That's fine with me. I warned everybody that we might attract some attention. What should we do if everyone starts crowding you?
I don't think it'll be an issue, but just stay by my side. I can keep you safe if anything escalates.
Actually, I figured we'd be the ones protecting you.
Yeah, right. The crowd would eat you alive. I'm used to this, so if it comes down to it, just follow my lead. It doesn't happen too often, though. Not with the new point penalties.
The new what? No?
Yeah, public scene, big uproar, obstructing paths. If they notice us, they'll probably just watch from a distance. Pestering a public figure can net you like 10 different penalties.
A little bit more insight into the point system.
Really? And that's been set in stone. That's not just one of the glitches happening lately.
Convenient excuse, don't you think? Crack down harder and blame it on a glitch?
Oh, is it tinfoil hat time? Trust me, I've heard every possible theory about Argus. The world was dealt a bad hand and they just wanted to help. That's all.
You should hear what some of the people say to me at work. They have no problem trash-talking the company they're giving money to.
Well, I mean, we're not just giving them money. We're giving them the freedom to control our lives. I know it's for the greater good, but it's still strict.
You can still do whatever you want, though. You're not tied down. At the end of the day, you're still in control of your score.
Yeah, but there's a lot of incentive to be an obedient drone. A bad score can literally destroy your life and your social status.
Well, not always.
What do you mean?
My score is pretty awful, especially with all the partying I do on tour.
That is so not fair. Tank your score and they still let you buy out a bar? If any normal person tried that, they'd just be laughed away.
So the scores aren't as absolute as we think. I mean, as far as theories go, that's pretty common.
But you can't say that's part of Argus's game. Notable people have always been given special treatment. It's not like that's a new addition to our society. Nothing changed.
Shouldn't it, though?
That's a bit too deep for me. No sense wasting time on something you can't change. It's just wishful thinking. Like trying to defy your vision.
That doesn't mean you should just sit back and give up. As long as you believe in your cause, a losing battle can still be worth fighting.
You guys flip-flop way too much on whether or not you believe your visions.
Us and the rest of the world, Isaac. We weren't all given a bright one like you were.
Everybody looks shocked and exchanges glances. I know alcohol was at play, but Dante just made a big mistake. Revealing facts about another person's vision, really bad move. I didn't have a vision, but I knew that they were super intimate. Sharing your vision with someone else was an expression of trust. To have them speak about it to others, it was a bit of a betrayal.
You may think it's bright from what I told you, but unless you're all there beside me, it'll feel hollow. When things get tough, the hope that I can change it keeps me going.
Dante shakes his head upon realizing his mistake.
I'm sorry, Isaac. I didn't mean to speak for you.
It's fine. I'm among friends. I would trust all of you with this stuff. Just not now.
That's fair. Anyway, let's go back to Taylor. You've heard every theory? What are some of the worst?
Aliens?
Excuse me, people actually believe that?
Oh, totally. I see it everywhere. Whenever something weird happens, people on the internet will say aliens. And I do have to admit, Komorebi is pretty high up there on the weird scale.
Yeah, but aliens?
Hey, I never said I believed it. I think the deterrent theory is way better.
The what?
Oh, I know about that one actually. Right before the first visions, world tensions were high. Everyone thought we were moments away from all-out war. Then, all of a sudden, Komorebi steps in. We don't care about fighting each other anymore. We have a new common enemy, the future.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. It's not something you can take, like a nation, and it's not something you can force, like an ideal.
Yeah, they will when it comes to the aliens, exactly.
It brought about peace. Whether random or created, that's still the case.
I don't think I can buy the theory that someone created Komorebi. It would be impossible to manufacture something like that, right?
Who knows?
I don't know about that one. There's always a scientist that tries to play God, you know? Like I said, I'm more inclined to believe that theory. Doesn't mean I believe it.
That's fair. I did hear about some crazy experiments in Switzerland.
Oh no, Switzerland.
Yeah, they're always up to something over there. I know they were obsessed with contacting another universe for a while.
Did that ever go anywhere?
I don't think we were worthy of a response. Like Taylor joked about, this is probably just the darkest timeline. They take one look at what we have to put up with and run the other way.
That's so depressing.
I have a cure for that.
Is it more alcohol? Taylor holds up a bottle of booze, implying that it's time to drink more.
Besides, it's a waste of time to focus on questions that have no answer. Like, why do scissors come in packages that require scissors to open? Like, I'm buying a pair. That obviously means that I don't have one to use.
Why don't you just use a kitchen knife to open it?
What?
We have like 10 knives in the kitchen drawer. You do know you don't need to use scissors, right?
But there's a little picture of scissors next to the dotted line.
Aw. Everyone stares at Taylor.
Is it okay if I just start drinking again? I mean, we're here to have fun, not rip into Taylor.
You know what? You're right. But I do appreciate talking about more real issues. Even if we'll never know the truth, it's still healthy to talk about.
Hey, I'll drink to that one. It can't be all fun and games, even if we want it to be. Honestly, this is one of the best nights I've ever had.
You must not have much freedom when you're on tour.
Nah. I'm always at arm's length for one person or another. But I told them I wanted to be left alone while I'm on this hiatus. At least it'll give me the chance to prove that I can care for myself.
I'm the Blue Guy Animations. Hello, and thank you for stopping by the stream. I am Shetani. Welcome in. I am playing some Komorebi right now, which is a preview of an upcoming furry visual novel created by Clace. The first chapter was just released. If you are interested in playing it, I do have a link down in the description of this video where you can download that and play some of it on your own, maybe make different choices than I am making here on the stream. So I do recommend that you sit back, relax, experience this game a little bit, and see what you think about it. Platinum says, I mean, I doubt trying to open a plastic package with a kitchen knife is the best idea. Yeah, that just seems like a recipe for slipping and cutting yourself, but you gotta get the scissors open somehow.
And even if you couldn't, we'd be there for you. How about we grab some bottles and head back to my place?
Sounds good to me. Just remember what I said about taking the back door.
Didn't know you guys had that kind of relationship.
He meant the nightclub, you absolute idiot.
Taylor smirks without saying another word. A moment later, we all scurry towards the bar. I grab a few bottles of whatever's left stands out to me. Like a kid in a candy store is a pretty apt expression, especially for Taylor, who seems overwhelmed by the possibilities. He keeps taking a bottle, putting it back, and then taking another one. We didn't leave him behind. We waited for him to choose before leaving. Free was certainly the best price of all. Platinum says, as someone who dropped a knife on their foot before, keep safe around those. Yeah. I can't imagine dropping a knife on your foot is very fun, and not an experience that you would like to replicate anytime soon. I'm Blue Guy Animation says, I love your fursuit. Thank you so much. My fursuit was made by Magpie Bones with auxiliary parts by the Forgotten Imp. I usually have chat commands that I can utilize to show more information about my fursuit, but for some reason they are not really working today. Cloudbot decided to take a break. Hopefully I will have them all up and running by the next stream. I think the fact commands are still working though. If you type !fact to get a fact about cheetahs, you can certainly test that out. I think that operates separately from Streamlabs bot. We scurried down the streets carrying more alcohol than we could ever drink. But it was all paid for, so there was no point in letting it go to waste. Actually, we'd be entirely stocked up for our New Year's Eve party.
Damn, they're really watching us, huh? Kinda embarrassing. They're gonna think we're alcoholics.
Yeah, Cloudbot is a little finicky sometimes. I wish I could use a different streaming integration bot like Firebot, but unfortunately that is designed for Twitch only and it does not integrate with YouTube. If anyone knows of some alternatives, please feel free to let me know.
Well, if you're not, you sure fooled me.
I look at the other side of the street. People watch from a distance. The flash of their cameras is annoying, but not too overwhelming. Clace was right. They won't approach us due to the system.
How do you operate under this much pressure, Clace? There's so many eyes on me, I can't help but feel violated.
You get used to it. The number one thing is remembering that they like you. They watch out of respect and admiration, not to judge.
Typically, I'd assume you're right, but I imagine you don't walk down the street like this too often. I mean, we look like we just robbed a dozen liquor stores.
We kinda did. I was just joking about buying it out.
What?
I tried to make a joke.
Dude, don't do that. You almost gave me a heart attack.
Nah, I'd never do that. It'd be way too boring without you.
I keep looking at the other side of the street. The crowd grows. Isaac was right after all. We definitely got some attention. Thankfully, I made sure to dress nice and act confident.
Really? Good to know I made a nice first.
Before we can finish, we hear a bottle of booze hit the ground. It shatters and I feel some drops splash against my ankles. We turn around and Dante stares at us. Clearly his fault.
We will never mention this again.
The crowd that was watching us laughs like a studio audience. It's so weird, like they can't cross the divide between us. The system is keeping us apart despite our desires.
I'd agree, but I know you'll just end up dropping more. You're next level clumsy, and now it's embarrassing me.
Nothing wrong with getting embarrassed. It'll help keep your ego in check.
Me? Ego?
It's undeniable.
Dante struggles to rearrange the bottles in his hands. We stand by and wait for him, but we don't clean up the glass. One of the automated drones would be by in minutes to fix it for sure.
Hey, you need some help?
We're all shocked to attention and look at the other side of the road. Someone walks over, but it's not just anybody. We know this guy.
Figured they weren't gonna jump in and lend a hand. Looks like they're scared of getting in trouble. Well, intimidated even.
Intimidated? Why?
No idea. Just a messenger. But I saw a friend in need and ran to help. Guess the system doesn't like good Samaritans.
Floofs everywhere, yes.
Well, it's not that. Our friend here is kind of famous, so they want pictures. The system is actually protecting us from a stampede.
Famous? Really? Been here for a day and I'm already making connections? I'd be super jealous back at home, you know, if we cared about that kind of stuff.
He kneels down beside the broken glass. Running a couple fingers through the pool of booze, he then tastes it. We all look at each other, confused and a bit concerned about health risks.
Oh, you drink this stuff?
Yeah.
Tastes disgusting.
Yeah, but it makes us happy.
Is this Argus's doing? Make you happy with drinks so you don't fight back?
What?
Just some food for thought. Or drinks for thought, I guess. Here, let me have some of that.
He motions toward Dante and holds out a hand. Dante looks at all of us, confused, before giving Zero some bottles. Carrying them with relative ease, he shrugs, unsure of what to do next.
Where are we going?
Home.
Well, I don't want to intrude on anything. I'll just help you carry your bottles and then go on my way. Let's call it even for the food you've been giving me.
Sounds fair. Are you sure we won't get in trouble?
No. It doesn't matter anyway. Look at all the people taking photos of us. Any chance that we wouldn't get caught is long gone.
Is it actually a crime to talk to a Zero?
Well, it's a crime for them to sneak into the city. I imagine it's against the rules by association. If we get docked points, let's just contest it.
Fair.
The system really keeps you all apart, huh?
He tilts his head to the people on the other side of the street.
Looks like both sides are worried about their score. Common sense tells me you could coexist just fine.
Common sense. Not a lot of city folk have that. But thanks for the help. I appreciate it.
Well, you could show your appreciation by actually talking to me. Every person I meet, it's always score this and points that. I don't care about those. Let me make that crystal clear.
Well, you could tell us about yourself. We have a bit of a walk ahead of us. At least an hour.
Golden Wolf says he sounds like Legoshi. I'm pretty sure that actually is the voice actor for Legoshi. I don't watch Beastars, but I do know that there are a few voice actors in Komorebi, and I'm pretty sure Legoshi's voice actor is one of them. So yeah, I'm fairly certain that Legoshi's voice actor is the person voicing Zero right here. Alright, see you later. Thank you so much for stopping by the stream. As always, I will post about my upcoming streams on my Twitter if you'd like to follow me on there. I usually like to give about 24-hour notice. And of course, subscribing to me here on YouTube is the best way to get notified next time I have a stream or a video coming out. Take care. Thank you for stopping by. I'm the Blue Guy Animation says, what is the game called Night in the Woods? I've been hearing about it a lot. Well, I am playing a different game right now, so I'm not going to get too far into it. But if you are interested in knowing more about Night in the Woods, I have done a couple episodes of Shetani plays of that game. So you are more than welcome to go back on my channel and watch those if you would like to get a little bit of a feel for the game. I do highly recommend it. It is one of my favorite games and I enjoy it very much. I hope to play some more Night in the Woods around the end of this year on stream for you all.
I want to hear about the famous dude first. What did he do? Suck up to Argus the most?
Hey,
Not really. My score is terrible. But I like to sing and dance, and people like to listen and watch. I'm on a break now, but I usually just travel the world and perform.
That sounds stressful.
You have no idea. I'd suggest easing up on the Argus hate, though. There's no need to draw attention to yourself.
yeah, you want to fit in as much as possible.
It's hard to do that when I can't enter any buildings. I'm supposed to have a phone with a special chip in it. I don't even have any money. How am I supposed to fit in?
Aren't you here with your friends to fight that, though? You know, so you can have access and stuff?
No, they're here to fight it. I'm here to see the sights and learn about this city. There's a lot less green around here. Super depressing.
Suddenly, I remember the pamphlets that I was shown earlier today. This might be a good time to get more information from Zero. Something told me we wouldn't make a habit of hanging out. I decide to ask him in an effort to make productive conversation. The perspective of an outsider is always good. It challenges your views. He seems to dislike Argus, but does he really believe the things I read?
Pamphlets? Wait, which ones are you talking about?
I let him know what I heard. They believe that Argus is responsible for Komorebi. And not only that, but they believe Komorebi disproves free will.
It's ridiculous. Argus must have planted those to make us look bad. We did bring some reading material, but not as stupid as that.
What did you bring exactly?
You know, just stuff about the impending land crisis. We grow in numbers while your cities grow in size. Less food and more people. A pretty bad combination.
I didn't know it was so severe.
It's definitely going down that route, yeah. But it's best to take care of it before it becomes a problem, you know? We just have foresight. Figured you'd all be used to that by now. Though I guess everyone focuses on potential futures. Kinda stupid when there's a real one right in front of your noses. One look at a Zero colony and you'd be on my side, I guarantee it.
Huh. I see. Well, thanks for helping. And I hope you enjoy your time in the city.
Of course. It's nice to have a change of pace. And if you want to help in return, just tell people we aren't that bad. If they believe we hate Argus that much, we'll have no chance. Especially if they're starting to fall for those fake pamphlets. Whoever made them, it's clearly just an attempt to undermine.
Honestly, that's the best way to ruin somebody. Attack their credibility until it doesn't even matter if they speak the truth. Remove our willingness to hear so we don't care what you have to say.
Exactly. But like I said, it feels like a losing battle. Maybe you should share some of that happy juice with me.
He lets out a soft laugh, and we're uncertain if he's serious or not. But since we've been walking the entire time, we've lost the crowd. The return to privacy and anonymity was a welcome one, to say the least.
How much farther is it?
Maybe 5 more minutes?
Alright. This is turning into quite the workout. I'm thankful that I got to make some new friends, though.
Likewise. And you're moving in with Isaac, right? Guess I'll have to come and visit more often.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But I can come to your place for that stream we talked about. I think a lot of people would be interested in watching it.
You're telling me. Just be warned that I say a lot of stupid stuff. You kinda have to turn off your filter to fill dead air.
I watch you all the time. Trust me, I know. Let's settle on a date and time, and I'll get them to make a press release. The more hype we can build leading up to it, the better. Sound good?
Getting a little meta there, perhaps.
More than good.
I never watched Taylor, but this has me interested.
Yeah, you never watch. You just leech off of my viewers.
It's a good life.
We laugh as we continue to walk home. Zero is rather quiet, though. He's probably just not sure where he fits in, but we still appreciate the help. By the time we make it back home, he barely says another word. Back home. When we enter, Zero stays outside. He rests the booze he carried on the ground, and we move it inside. It takes a couple trips outside to transport it, but we eventually get the job done.
Hey, doesn't look like he's leaving.
Taylor peeks through the window. It's a bit odd on both Taylor and the Zero's part.
Well, that's a little odd. I'll go talk to him for a few minutes. You can all relax. I won't be gone long.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty sleepy over here.
Fair enough. I'll try to hurry. You should mingle for a bit. There's no more prying eyes around. I'll show you your room as soon as I get back.
I'll start the timer.
As Isaac steps outside, the rest of us gather together. We sit down on the couch in unison and let out loud sighs.
I'm getting old.
Getting?
Funny.
Dude, you're 23.
Oh my
You're
god.
old. You're just dramatic.
Definitely.
Speaking of dramatic, you sure know how to draw a crowd, Clays. I was worried they'd cave and start swarming us.
Nah, they usually behave. Even without the system, I'm sure they'd still respect me. The relationship I have with my fans is certainly, unique.
Sure seems that way. Watching them stare at us felt so surreal. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Well, even if it does, you get used to it. But I'd be down to go somewhere more private next weekend. And it might be a good idea to avoid that Zero if we can.
Why not hit up the Wayfarer? It's pretty dead in there, and I love the Atmo.
What's that?
A pub, and a pretty good one. Cheap drinks, and they don't mind pouring extra.
Sounds good to me. Honestly, a nightclub may not have been the best first choice. I hope you can forgive me for what happened after we left.
Ah, don't worry about it, Clays. And I heard you suggest the Wayfarer? Whew, I'm so down. After tonight, I could definitely use a more relaxed outing.
Looks like Isaac is back, and kept his word of not being gone for too long. He sits down on the couch with the rest of us and yawns.
I'm just going to die here now. I think I've used up my social energy. It's all over for me.
You still have to show me to my room.
All over.
I can show you if you'd like. We cleaned that room together, and now I know why. But I'm curious, where's all your luggage at?
Oh, someone's gonna bring it over tomorrow. They'll take care of everything, so don't worry. We're just gonna let Isaac pass out there?
No way! This is my couch! Even if I have to carry him to his room.
You're not going to carry him to his room.
So romantic. Why not just take his bed?
I'll never do that again. Oh, my back is still recovering.
Wait, you've slept in his bed before?
Upon hearing that, Isaac immediately jumps out of his seat.
All right, it's time. If you're showing Clays to his room, I'll stick with Delta. There's something I wanted to talk about anyways.
Works for me. Then Taylor gets the couch. And just to set this in stone, we're going to the Wayfarer next weekend?
Sounds good to me. Does Friday work for all of you?
Yep, I'm wide open. Also, I'll make us all breakfast. I assume your kitchen is fully stocked.
Yay, breakfast.
With all the essentials, yeah. But you don't have to do that.
Of course I don't. I'm just choosing to. This all means a lot to me, so I want to help out. It was great to finally meet you too. Well, all of you.
He looks at me and gives me a soft smile.
I guess that's our cue. See you all in the morning?
Sure thing. Taylor, if you need more blankets or anything...
We glance over at Taylor, and he's fast asleep on the couch. Platinum asks, how long would you say each chapter is? By in-game day, by week, just story progression in general? So this is actually the second half of the first chapter I'm playing right now. I believe my previous stream of it was about 3 hours, and we are just coming up on 2 hours right now. So each chapter takes between 5.5 to 6 hours to complete. It's a good solid chunk of gameplay. Like I said before, the game has not yet been released. This is still a demo. Only the first chapter is available. So I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they said there would be somewhere around 5 or 6 chapters, so you can expect at least 30 hours of solid gameplay for your buck. As for story progression, well, we only have chapter 1 to go by so far, but it seems to be taking place over the course of a couple days at this point in time. Of course, not counting filling in backstory and that kind of thing. I guess he wasn't exaggerating when he said how tired he was. As much as I wanted this night to last forever, it was time to sleep.
Oh, guess we have to keep it down now. He gets really angry if he loses his beauty sleep. Come on, Delta. Let's go somewhere more private.
I nod and start to walk toward my room. I'm not sure what he wants to talk about, but it can't be anything bad. It's probably related to the night he planned, if I enjoyed it and stuff like that. Yes, thank you, DJ Pyrotechnics. According to Steam, the game will come out in 2023. Clace just finished a successful Kickstarter for the game. So yeah, it is going to come out next year. As soon as we get to my room, I sit down on the bed. Isaac follows suit, sitting down beside me, but also keeping his distance. He adds a sense of familiarity to this otherwise bland and lifeless room. I didn't have enough space to bring everything with me. A lot of stuff, like my computer and bed, had to stay behind. But I guess it's not a fresh start if you don't shed a little bit.
So, did you have fun? What did you think of the plans I made?
It was amazing. Everything I could have asked for.
I know, right? Can you believe it only took me a few weeks to plan? The whole Clace part just happened to fit what was already in motion. Simple serendipity, that's all. But I think it made for one of the best nights I've had in a while. It's a shame that it has to end. And on such a weird note, too.
He rubs the back of his head a little bit, like he's nervous.
I hope we don't get docked too many points for what happened tonight. Community service wasn't how I planned to spend the rest of my year. We didn't even do anything wrong. So why do I feel so guilty?
Shaking his head, he lets out a dramatic sigh.
Oh, everyone keeps inheriting such flawed ideals these days. Our minds are sewn shut before we even have the chance to open them. Makes us scared of change. Scared of things that are good. The world was never reinvented by people who thought inside the box, Delta. But try as hard as I can, the envelope always pushes back. Rules, guidelines, scores, they just foil progress.
I nod, unsure of where he's going with this. But I imagine that his score means more to him than others. He works for Argus, after all, the people who govern everything. Getting on their bad side would probably cause endless worry. Yet here he sits, with a look of realization on his face rather than fear. Like the look of a man who just realized what needed to be done.
I think we'll need to have a proper conversation about all that nonsense. Especially with everything that's been going on the last few days. That Zero seems to like us. But I can't blame him.
He gives me a thumbs up and a wide smirk.
We're just the coolest.
We both laugh, and then he inches a little bit closer.
For real though, people get in trouble for this kind of thing. But if we do, I want to fight it. And I want your help to do that too. Talking to a Zero shouldn't have to damage our lives.
I agree. He approached us, and the interaction was harmless. As long as no harm was done, I don't think we should get in trouble. Of course, letting one thing slide can easily turn into an avalanche.
In fact, I'm willing to fight for a world where no one cares about that stuff. And if Argus just uses that to make an example out of me, well, at least I tried. Everyone else just accepts their punishment without asking questions.
It's true. People can easily become blind to the status quo. Jump through enough hoops and eventually you'll just get used to it. That's what Argus did. Taught us all to jump without asking why.
Anyway, I'd hate to end this night on a sour note. I'm just drunk venting, and there's no need to do that right now. I came in here to thank you for tonight, and let you know that I'm here. I know things are getting off to a great start, but I'm still here. If you're ever lonely, scared, or thinking of home, just let me know. I haven't been this motivated in years, and it's all thanks to your arrival.
He places his hands in mine.
I've got your back. I guess I just want to make that clear. At the end of the day, this give and take is all we really have. But you know what? It's all we really need. Someone there to help us when things go bad. Someone to direct us when we start feeling lost. I'm trying to buy time now since I'm super nervous. But I guess this is one of those things that I just need to get over with.
Uh-oh.
Especially now that the booze has shot my confidence sky high.
Oh, what are you gonna do? Without another word, he leans forward and kisses me on the cheek. Aww. When he pulls back, his face is bright red. I've never seen him like this before. It's not a bad thing, though. I squeeze his hands with a smile before letting go.
Enjoy your new life, Delta. And here's to a better tomorrow.
He leaves the room, happier than he'd been all night. It must have been a relief that things went off mostly without a hitch. I plug in my phone, then lay in bed and stare up at the ceiling. It's almost been a week, but this still doesn't feel like my bed. I wonder when that will change and what might spark that change. The fact that we can make anywhere feel like home is rather peculiar. It just might take some more time. My eyelids feel heavy, and soon I succumb to fatigue. The very same fatigue that I fought off in Isaac's car when I first arrived. But I feel like this time, I can let it get the better of me. I deserve it after all. I sleep, despite my worry that the tomorrow I greet may not be better. Because vision or not, we were all united in our fear of what would happen next. It looks like that is it for the first chapter. Thank you for playing the first chapter of Komorebi. The game will launch on Steam and Nintendo Switch in the future. Make sure to follow Clace on Twitter or use hashtag KomorebiGame. There's also a Discord server with a link in the included README file. Until next time. Are we gonna get like an end screen or menu? Okay, so it looks like that is it for chapter 1 of Komorebi. Definitely a very interesting premise for a visual novel. This idea of visions of the future which influence society and how everybody behaves, as well as the system that kind of reins everybody in and keeps folks in line. So there's a lot to play around with here. There's a lot of great characters. I saw a lot of folks found the characters quite memorable, and they will only continue to be explored in further iterations. So yeah, if you are interested in playing Komorebi, seeing some stuff that I didn't show on stream or things like that, you can download the first chapter of the game and play it for yourself right now. The link to that is in the description of this video. You can follow, of course, Clace on Twitter, keep up to date with updates. Like they said, it is expected to be released on Steam and Nintendo Switch in 2023. So yeah, what does everybody think of Komorebi? Does it seem interesting? Does it seem like a game that you'll be getting one that you're interested in playing? William says the societal setting is very intriguing. I agree. It's a very interesting world that the creators have set up for us here, and there's a lot of potential for different real-world societal issues to be explored, I feel. I don't know if I will be purchasing the full game of Komorebi when it comes out. I will definitely keep my finger on the pulse of the progress of the game, and sort of updates and things as they come along. I did join the Discord server in preparation for this stream, so presumably they will be posting updates in there as things progress. I would like to see more female characters represented in Komorebi, as right now all of the characters are male, and the player character is just like a genderless self-insert. It's not a non-binary character, it's just kind of like Undertale, where the main character is just kind of vague and meant for the player to just insert themselves into the role. Would definitely love to see more women represented in games, especially furry games. Lord knows we could use more of that. But yeah, so that was a very interesting first look at Komorebi. And just as a wrap-up for folks who may have missed the beginning of the stream, I did talk a little bit about Little Island FurCon, which was an online Singaporean convention that I was just taking part in a few short hours ago. It was very, very fun. There's the my Little Island FurCon attendee pass, as you can see there. There. I did have a dealer's booth where I was peddling my wares, and it was great fun to set up, and I even made a couple sales, which was super, super cool. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing the stuff that I have my coffee shop, link to which is right there on the screen. I've got pins, I've got stickers, including the wonderful, amazing, very, very cool Cheetah Chat commemorative pins. Oop, let me fix it. There we go. My first enamel pins, which I am so excited for. I'm a really, really big enamel pin collector, and it's super cool to finally have a pin of my own. And all proceeds go, of course, towards making Cheetah Chat and my YouTube videos the best that they can be. Trying to catch the light a little bit, but of course you can see better pictures on my social media if you are so inclined. And yeah, I am going to leave it off for here, I think. I have some cookies that I need to get started baking for an event tomorrow, so I'm gonna probably rest up for a little bit, you know, cool off the fur and all that, and then I will get my paws going right in there. Baking is one of my favorite pastimes, and hey, who knows? I will probably have pictures of the cookies that I make to post on social media, which if you are interested in seeing, you can follow me on Twitter at Shetani Cheetah. I'm also on Instagram under the same name. And of course, you can check out my website, shetani.card.co, for all of my latest updates and information about what is going on with me. If I will be at any conventions, in person or virtual, I will always have that right on the front page of my website as well. So thanks to everybody for coming by and helping experience the first chapter of Komorebi together with me. I cannot wait to see you all again. I have another super, super cool stream planned very soon. So do make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you would like to get notified the next time that I'm streaming. If you hit the little bell, YouTube will actually send you an email when my videos go live. And not to toot my own horn, but it is going to be something that I think a lot of folks here on this channel will be quite interested in seeing. So, without further ado, I will let you all get back to your Saturday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see everybody next time. Take care. Bye-bye.